The Asia Cup fired up its 2015 season with the Super 6 Championship held at the Sepang International Circuit. The series is the premier event for junior drivers, making the transition to single-seater racing, and this weekend attracted drivers from diverse backgrounds from Australia to Hong Kong, Norway, and even as far as Kenya. The Super 6 Championship sees drivers competing in 6 races over 2 days as they battle for the glory of being crowned the Asia Cup Super 6 champion. Taking pole position for race 1 was Australian youngster Jordan Love, ahead of fellow Australian Drew Ridge in P2 and Hong Kong's James Atter in P3. When the lights went off, it was Drew Ridge who made a great start despite being on the dirtier side of the track to take the lead into the first corner of the first lap. Though the 16-year-old in car number 4 was able to hang on to the lead for the first 2 laps, Jordan Love's race pace was simply too quick for Ridge. Clearly the quicker of the two, the pole sitter made a brilliant overtaking move coming into turn 4 to regain the lead.
I spent 1 or 2 laps behind him trying to work out where I could pass him and where I could regain the lead, and I managed to do that lap 3 into turn 4, but managed to hold it off from there and keep in front of him for the rest of the race. And
the 16-year-old Love held on to the lead for the remainder of the race and went on to record the fastest lap. Behind them, 17-year-old James Atter from Hong Kong maintained his starting position to claim the final podium spot, just ahead of Malaysian Adam Khalid, who had moved up into 4th place. Meanwhile, making his first ever single-seater appearance, Kenyan's Jeremy Wahome also had a good debut race, finishing in P7. Up front, it was Jordan Love who stormed to victory ahead of Drew Ridge, with James Atter completing the podium.
Overall, I'm really happy with this result. This is my first time in the podium in single-seater racing, so I'm just very happy at the moment.
Across the line, I was pretty tired. 10-lap race is very long, but that's what we trained for, and I was pretty happy with P2, so now we just got to try and go one better.
crossing the line, great feeling. 10-lap race, doesn't seem like a long race, but around here, obviously very long race. So a little bit physical, but I guess we can work on that in the future, and that's what we'll aim to do.
With grid positions determined from the fastest laps in race 1, the lineup for race 2 did not change too dramatically at the head of the field, with Jordan Love once again starting from pole position. Lining up alongside him on the front row was fellow Australian Drew Ridge in P2. Starting on the second row of the grid were Thaddeus Lee from Singapore in P3 and race 1 podium finisher James Atter from Hong Kong in P4. As the lights went off, it was race 1 winner Jordan Love who got off to a much better start compared to the first race and maintained the race lead into the first sequence of corners. Behind him, Drew Ridge piled on the pressure, but the young Australian did a superb job of keeping a much tighter defensive line to defend his lead. Behind the dueling duo, it was a 5-way fight for the final spot on the podium, with James Atter in car number 23, Malaysian Kifli Othman, Adam Khalid, Thaddeus Lee and Harry Hayek all locked in a closely fought battle for position. Unfortunately, Malaysian Adam was later penalised, having jumped the start, which eliminated him from the battle for position as he dropped to the back of the grid after serving his drive-through penalty. Similarly, Kifli Othman's mechanical issues forced him to retire despite a strong showing in the early part of the race. That left the fight for the final podium spot between Atter, Hayek and Lee. It was a close battle, and eventually Hayek managed to find a way past Atter, overtaking the Hong Kong driver with less than 3 laps remaining.
And everyone in that group was really good. You know, we all gave each other good racing room, so that was really good. And got in front of James. I think he finished 4th, and yeah, managed to get 3rd in the last couple of laps, and yeah, just started slowly driving away.
For the second time in 2 races, Jordan Love claimed the checkered flag from Drew Ridge, with Harry Hayek making it an all-Australian podium.
Yeah, at the start of the weekend, couple seconds off, but each session, every time I go out, I'm getting faster and faster, so can't wait for tomorrow, see what it brings. Got 4 races, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, for the next race, if I can get a good start again like I have been so far, hopefully get Jordan into turn 1, and if I can just try and keep a gap so he's not in the slipstream for me, that would be ideal.
So looking forward to race 1 tomorrow. Go work with the data engineer, see what we can do. But yeah, should be good. I think I'm starting out at P1 tomorrow as well. So hopefully can continue the progress on from today.
It was an early morning start for race 3 the next day, and the heavy morning downpour prior to the race had seen officials declare round 3 a wet race. However, the quickly drying conditions saw all drivers starting on slicks instead of wet tyres. The start saw all drivers get off to a safe, albeit more cautious start. Getting ahead of the lights was double winner Jordan Love, who managed to pull out a good lead over Drew Ridge, then lying in second position. But the damp track conditions clearly made it difficult, as everyone struggled to get heat into the tyres, with even some suffering spins. With the race leader away, the bulk of the action in the race was concentrated among 6 drivers vying for the 2 remaining podium positions. James Atter and Drew Ridge eventually emerged as the main contenders and were racing wheel to wheel in the difficult conditions. Atter had already moved up 3 positions, having started 6th on the grid, and eventually the Hong Kong-born driver prevailed with a brilliantly timed overtaking move on Ridge for P2, relegating the Australian to 3rd.
By the end of turn 9, I was catching Drew, and I managed to get up into the inside and just overtake him and hold my line.
Up ahead, Love further increased his gap over the field before taking the checkered flag for his 3rd straight win, after Atter in 2nd place, with Ridge taking the final spot on the podium.
We're happy we'll take 3rd place away and we'll try and work on it for the next one.
Oh, it's an amazing feeling. It's coming into P2 from P6 is a pretty special moment. In my part, a great job for me. All this is valuable lessons, and it's going to help improve me as a racing driver.
Oh, I feel great. Obviously, there's still 3 more to come, and I'm just going to try and continue the progress onto that.
At the halfway point of the Super 6, it did seem that Jordan Love was looking comfortable to claim the championship crown. However, the Australian could not have imagined how the next few races would quickly shake up the order.